We'll wait for a few more people to join, and then we'll get started.
We have a lot of people from Korea.
It looks that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I tweet.
All right. Okay, so we're nearing about 100 people on the stream already, so we'll get started. Cool.
Okay.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to our 4th official community call. Our first official one on live streaming on YouTube. So we'll see how this format goes. Hopefully we won't get attacked by any reggae music attacks like last time, but yeah. So for anyone who's new to the community, I'll just do some quick intros so everybody's caught up. Obviously we have our fearless leader, Daniel, to the right of me. He's the founder and CEO, Daniel. We've got Terrence next to him. Terrence is our VP of Operations and Compliance. We've got Steve below me. He's our CTO, Chief Technology Officer. Hey, Steve, thanks for joining. We've got Brecht. Everyone should know Brecht, the great Brecht, Chief Architect. And then everybody should recognize Adam and myself from the Growth and Community team. We're always in the Discord interacting with you guys. So welcome, everybody. So just to give you a quick outline here, we'll go through some of the updates that we have coming out on the product and technology front, and then we will hop into some of the community questions. We've collected quite a few questions already from the Discord, but we are, if there's some time left at the end, we'll also grab a couple questions from the live chat and go from there. So to start off, the most exciting news of the past couple weeks is obviously the NFT announcement. So just to kind of wrap that up in a bow here, our big upgrade went live today. So our Loopring protocol on the back end, on the protocol level, is now supporting NFTs. You can read more about that in our blog if you check out our Medium. So just to clarify, this is back-end support, so technically APIs can now interact with it. However, the front end, the user experience, probably the part of the NFT experience that most people are most anticipating, that still has a little bit of work to go, and we are hoping to announce some more progress on that front in the 4th quarter. So yeah, we are working with external partners to roll that out, hopefully in the 4th quarter. So does anyone else have anything to add on that front? Nope. Perfect. So besides the NFTs, we've got tons of other super exciting stuff coming out. So for now, I'll turn the floor over to either Daniel or Steve. And we can talk a little bit about one of the next updates that we have coming out, which is the Exchange web interface, which is going to be super cool, a new UI, UX, and then also a brand new wallet experience as it goes multi-chain, multi-layer. So Steve or Daniel, if you guys want to jump in and maybe update on that, that'd be awesome.
Okay. Yeah, I can talk about the new web UI. First of all, I want to say that we focus mostly on the protocol and the backend. So we're not really doing a good job on the UI, as always. So the UI, lag behind. But luckily, a few months ago, we hired a new small team dedicated to the new UI. And if you go to alpha.loopring.pro, you will see a preview, which is still in active development. We expect to launch this one at the end of this month to replace the current UI, the web UI. So that's something we are very excited about. And going forward, we may add some extra feature there to support the protocol update. For example, the Ethport. Maybe if we want to interact with layer 1 dApps, we need to add some UI there. For NFTs, so far we don't have the plan, but it doesn't mean we will never add NFT-related UI to our web app. So yeah, so we are making slow progress, but eventually, at the end of this month, we will deliver something to replace the old one. So that's the update on the web UI.
That's super exciting. Yeah, so as Daniel said there, if you guys want to check it out, please don't interact with it as it's still in alpha, but if you go to alpha.loopring.pro, you can check out the new web interface. In my opinion, it looks amazing. So we're excited to roll that out. And then Steve maybe wants to talk a little bit about the new updates with the wallet and what's coming with the new wallet.
Yeah. As all of you know, our Loopring wallet is another most important product we are developing. We call it the Social Recovery Smart Wallet. But for the current version, we met such a big issue. I think it's the cost is too expensive on the Ethereum mainnet to deploy a smart contract wallet. So we try to solve this issue. So we just propose two solutions. One is for we call it a counterfactual wallet for our Loopring protocol. We support, we just created a Loopring account totally on layer 2, but does not deploy any smart contract on layer 1. So you can try first on our Loopring. You can do trade, do transfer, and do everything on our Loopring layer 2. But you don't have any wallet on the layer 1, so that's it. So we can let user try our solution first, and then if you like it, you can pay something to deploy the wallet contract. So that's the one. And another solution is we try to integrate another many of other layer 2 solution. For example, right now we have integrated the Upchain. Every node, just the Upchain published launched the mainnet today. I think everyone have maybe somehow have tried them. Or actually, our most of our work are done on integrating Upchain smart contract wallet, but we still need a little time to focus on testing and then make it publish to everyone. So just wait a few times, and so we have also planned to integrate all for example Optimism, and also even for Polygon, for balance chain is also as long as they are EVM compatible, we may support it in the future. So that's our plan for the.
That's super cool.
Sorry, I want to add one little feature that we have been working on. We have designed this feature, but the implementation are not all done yet for the smart wallet, which is the I call it network agnostic social guardian or social recovery, or you can say this is a feature to enable you to add other wallets on different networks to be your guardians. So why we need that? Because we don't want to force people to use Ethereum layer 1, right? We don't want to force people to use either Arbitrum, Optimism, or whatever layer 2s. People have their preference, but they can all act as guardians of each other. So that's a feature that we think is really important. Nobody has ever talked about this feature. If we can deliver this to the market first, that would be great. So that's together with counterfactual wallet and this multi-layer 2, layer 1 deployment strategy. I think the wallet will be quite unique in terms of these features. So I really look forward to our V2 wallet to be launched soon.
Yeah, it's going to be super cool. like we've always said, we are targeting mass adoption. So we want to go with the smart wallet where the users are. They're all across Ethereum. They could be on Polygon. They could be on Binance Chain. They could be on Arbitrum, Optimism. We will have all of those options within the Loopring smart wallet so that it's kind of just a home base for you. So that's going to be super cool. And you have the protection of the social recovery, which is super awesome. So yeah, so that's coming down the pipe pretty quick. Another exciting update that we have coming is the second generation of the AMMs. So everybody knows the first generation that we have of the automated market making system, which produces the simple swaps within the Loopring Exchange. So maybe Brecht can talk about that a little bit, give us an update on where we're at with AMM 2.0, and maybe a little bit about the partnership we have with Starkware on the DAM as well.
Oh yeah, sure. So I think like our current version of the AMMs are basically what you get with Uniswap version 2. So you need to, like, all the capital needs to be in the pool and users can swap against it, which is fine. But of course, there's limited capital efficiency because yeah, you need a lot of funds to get the slippage low. So for version 2, we kind of want to improve on that. And the biggest change is like the use of virtual balances. So instead of having the curve completely defined by the balances in the pool, we allow the virtual balances to be set by some mechanism that's on chain. So either the liquidity, like the liquidity can be amplified by, let's say, like having like a 2x factor for reduce it and slippage for actual the amount of balances that are in the pool, or you can even like change the curve like in other interesting ways. And like Starkware's like the project that we did with Starkware, the DAM is actually like a use of that use case, as in we would actually store all the funds mostly on chain, but allow the funds also to be used directly on layer 2. So if you would like compare with like an Ethport integration with something like Uniswap, like the benefit is that we get all the liquidity on Uniswap, but there is a delay because we have to batch all these trades together on layer 2 and then do a single swap on layer 1. And so it's not like instant finality for trading on layer 2. And with stuff like the DAM, that actually would be possible. So you get that like instant finality on layer 2, but also directly like asynchronous sharing of all the liquidity across multiple layer 2s or even layer 1s. And so that's the exciting part about DAM. And yeah, so the plan is to have like the virtual balances stuff and some implementation using the version 2, I guess, sometime in the future. With them, it's more like currently more of a research thing. So we'll have to see when we can actually use it, because of course it's like a new concept. So there's more testing and checking involved than yeah, just using the standard swaps, standard curves like Uniswap, which already have been battle tested and we know that works. So yeah, I guess that's it for the AMM updates.
Cool, very cool. Yeah, so and then on top of all of that, by popular demand, one of our most popular, most talked about features in the community is Ethport. So perhaps Adam, do you want to speak to where we're at with Ethport?
Yeah, definitely. So now that the NFT news is public, we could say that, you know, this was the reason that Ethport has been delayed, as NFT support did take priority to get out this quarter. But we do prioritize Ethport, and a user-facing integration will be coming soon. We've been thinking about what it would look like to either partner up with Yearn, create either an ETH or an LRC vault with Yearn, or even with Maker. We wanted to make it that anyone is able to use their assets productively on our layer 2. So we do prioritize Ethport, and hopefully will be coming soon. I don't know if Daniel or Brecht would like to add anything onto that.
One little thing to add to that. We are in this crazy like crypto space. Sometimes our priority will change according to the competitive landscape, right? So we are really nimble and readjust our strategy, our roadmap. But yes, Ethport will try to integrate with some D apps on layer 1, and we may prioritize AMM 2.0 differently, either before the Ethport or after. But the point I want to make is that we often ask ourselves whether we should keep making some progressive, small updates, some small improvements to the current technology, or are we, can we convince ourselves to do something like more disruptive, more like some big, bold step forward, right? And if something can kill us, what's that thing, and what should we do? Thinking from like 2 years, 5 years ahead, right? From the future. I think we will slightly adjust some priorities down the road. So if anything comes up, I think we can make a post. I'm looking at the stream of the questions. Okay. So maybe after this, we'll respond to some questions later on. So roadmap at the end of this year, at the end of every year for the last 4 years, we have some plan, some roadmap to show, right? To show to the community, so you will know what our plan will be for the next year. That's
Absolutely. It. Thanks for sharing all that. Yeah, I think that's a very important point. We have an amazing dev team, and we have always been ahead of the curve. And I think it's very important for us to be nimble and flexible and have those assets available to make those changes where we see fit, which is super cool. I think that's a big advantage that we have over other projects. So that's basically all of the major updates that we have coming out in the near future. So now we'll jump to some of the questions from the community that we have sourced quite a few from the Discord already. So we'll start with those, and then we will try to answer some questions from the live chat if there's any relevant questions to answer in the live chat as well. To kick it off, the first question here is from Pior. So thanks for the question, Pior. He's a long-standing member in the community. His question is, how are we doing on fiat on-ramps, and how will that affect the KYC requirements on Loopring, the platform? Maybe I'll throw this one to Terence. He might be able to answer that best.
Sure. So we realized that a lot of our community would really like to be able to purchase, the tokens with fiat. We've been working with several partners, trying to bring that functionality online. Hopefully in Q4, before end of the year, for sure is our target. A lot of people might be curious, if when they do that, does it means that they need to do KYC? I want to stress that the standard KYC is required when you use your credit card or debit card to purchase tokens, but that's done by our partner who handles the credit card and debit card transactions. It's not done by Loopring. So we won't be keeping any of the user information does not comes to Loopring. It's purely handled by our partner who handle your credit card and debit card transaction. And then we don't keep a copy of any of our users' information in the process. What we do want to make sure when we're able to bring that functionality online is to make sure that when you buy it, the token will go straight to your layer 2 wallet. So you don't need to do layer 1 to layer 2 and layer 2 to layer 1 movements. of all your token. So you can be sure that, you know, when we actually announce and make that function online, it will be a very seamless, you know, experience for all of you. Yeah, that's what I have for now.
That's super exciting. That's probably one of the most demanded features as well within the community, is the fiat on-ramps, especially directly to layer 2. That's gonna be really cool. So yeah, moving on. We've got another question from another very long-standing, awesome community member. I actually don't know how to pronounce this. Is it? Maybe you can correct me in Discord later. Is it Pi Diddy or P Diddy? Either way, he's a great community member. He has a question: is how much will it cost to deploy a Loopring wallet now that the new version is coming? I think he's referring to the Arbitrum version, because he was a little bit confused as to the try before you buy. So I can kind of expand on that a little bit to clear up the confusion. So I think the confusion comes from the fact that we have this new feature where within the Loopring Smart Wallet, you're actually going to have the ability to deploy several wallets within the same app, so under the same account. So from a user's perspective, once we deploy on Arbitrum, a user will be able to decide when he downloads the Loopring Smart Wallet, do I want to deploy my smart contract onto Arbitrum, or do I want to deploy my smart contract with Loopring? And you can obviously choose both, and you can have multiple wallets within the same app. But if the user decides to deploy onto Arbitrum, the cost will be near zero because it's deploying directly onto Arbitrum's optimistic roll. So near zero, or even might even be free from the user's perspective. But if they choose the Loopring option, this will still be deployed on Ethereum Layer 1 for the near future until general purpose ZK rollups that technology becomes available. So the cool new feature about the counterfactual wallet that Daniel was describing will allow, if a user chooses the Loopring option, they'll now be able to deploy a wallet. Technically, it won't be deployed, but they'll be able to use the full functionality of the Loopring Layer 2, so all the exchange transfers, AMM swaps, and all of that. They'll be able to use that ahead of time for free, basically, as far as the deployment goes. And then once they want to interact with the Layer 1 or withdraw or do anything like that, that's when the smart wallet will have to deploy the contract on Layer 1. And that's where the Ethereum gas costs come in. So hopefully that makes sense to answer that question. Does anyone have anything to add on to that? Nope. Got it? Okay. Nailed it. So, Adam, maybe you want to take some of the next questions here?
Definitely, Byron. What do we have? Okay, I think I have one from Brent, one of our amazing mods in the community. He asks, will DAM have an effect on the fees earned by the Loopring LP providers if prices and liquidity comes from elsewhere to provide the best prices to the end user? I'm not sure if you got all of that, but do you mind answering this DAM-related question?
Oh yeah, sure. So of course the idea is that fees would actually increase, because if everybody is trading using the same liquidity, then yeah, so you actually earn fees on the trading that's happening on all the layer 2s at the same time. So in theory, fees will the idea is that fees will increase. Of course, in practice, we can't say much, because this actually needs to be further examined and then actually tested in real life scenarios before we could actually say something definite. So in theory, yes, and so and also the fees would be collected by each L2 separately and then distributed to the LPs on the different layer 2s as well. So it's probably not going to be automatic like that. But yeah, we'll have to see about the actual implementation.
Great answer. Thanks, Brecht. Next up, we have a question from Palim. I hope I pronounced that correct. He asks, what are your current and upcoming strategies for increasing user adoption? I guess I could answer this one. Everything, I guess, that we do on our layer 2 is to improve users' lives, whether that's through composability solutions with Ethport to the products that live atop our rollup. We have the new Exchange UI that is coming out that Daniel and Byron spoke of, will be a huge improvement as well. Steve just kind of talked about the Smart Wallet 2.0 that will look and feel so much different and will live on multiple chains. And once we're able to deploy the Smart Wallet right onto Layer 2, this will reduce so much barriers for DeFi users and normies alike to onboard. If you can imagine, 6,500 users have downloaded this wallet and have paid anywhere from $80 to $500 to even try this wallet. So once this wallet creation fee will go down to next to nothing, it should be a huge, I guess, moment for increasing our adoption. So we're ready to get loud and turn on these incentives soon. Not sure who else would like to answer that, Terrence or Daniel, in terms of adoption. Okay.
Yeah, I want to add something. So massive user adoption is something we really want to have for our wallet, right? Because our wallet, we treat the wallet as a strategically important, critical product for our business. But we always treat security as the foundation of everything, and then comes the user experience. We want to polish the user experience to make sure, when we spend a lot of marketing budget to promote using our wallet, the money is not burned, for nothing, right? People should, the retention ratio should be high enough, which means the product should be good enough. I think we are still trying to get there, but not there yet. So as soon as we get there, we will, spend quite decent amount of money to promote the wallet to a lot of more users. Probably not a lot of current DeFi users who are using MetaMask a lot, using their desktop a lot. So we target the mobile users, people who don't really have daily access to computers, but they use mobile phones a lot. So we want to reach that audience. So I think the time will come soon, maybe next year. Somewhere next year. Yeah.
Yeah, I also want to add that, I'm actually very encouraged, because, I look at all the usage data on our, exchange and wallets, and I have to say, we are actually 10 times, more active in our usage compared to the beginning of the year. So just a few months, we already, seeing a lot of adoption. Of course, it's still very early in the whole game. So we will continue to work as hard as possible to make all the highly demanded, requested functionality that our community asks for to be brought onto the product as soon as possible, and make sure that your experience are seamless. And we do expect we to continue to have that speed of growth, for the next year too.
Absolutely. And just to add one more quick stat, the last I checked, I think we had over 26,000 Layer 2 accounts already active on Loopring Layer 2, which is pretty incredible adoption already. When you compare that to something like Polygon, who has, last I checked, about 60,000 active accounts, we're 1/3 the size of active accounts as Polygon already, and we haven't even deployed our low-cost smart wallet yet. Like Adam mentioned, that's really gonna be when the rubber hits the pavement and we really start taking off. So yeah, exciting times ahead.
Well said, Byron, and I completely agree. Let me continue rolling through these questions. I have one here from Cryptonomouse. Can I import my MetaMask wallet into Loopring Smart Wallet with the release on Arbitrum? Daniel or Breck, do you mind answering this one?
I can answer from a non-technical perspective, and Brett can answer from the other technical perspective. So your MetaMask, most likely your MetaMask wallet is a dumb wallet. It's not smart. It's an EOA. It's a normal address where you have a private key. So MetaMask manages the private key for you. The smart wallet doesn't have a fixed private key. So the short answer is no, you cannot. And we are not competing with MetaMask. As I said, MetaMask is a great plugin such that you can use your browser to access DeFi, right? We are targeting people who use mobile phones, use mobile apps on their phones to access DeFi in the future. So we target different different audience.
Yeah, I guess with smart wallets, the way you would import it in your smart wallet is to actually add it as a guardian. So that's how you actually use your external Ethereum wallets, is you actually have all your data on your smartphone, but if you want to be able to recover your wallet using a different address, then you would use it as a guardian instead of like using the private key, like the seed phrase or this private key directly to manage your wallet.
That's a great point.
Definitely a great point in Daniel for that. Just rolling through these questions here. We have another one from Discord. I know PyDD had one more question in regards to Ethport. Yes, ask, would it be free? Would it be free to use, will Ethport be free to use for external companies? I'm not sure that I really understand that question, but we could definitely discuss after the call. I'd be happy to answer that. Another one here. We had a few more questions around LRC and tokenomics in general. Mind us.
Yeah. I think Adam cut out there. But in general, yeah, so we had a few questions around LRC and how the protocol generates revenue and tokenomics and that sort of thing. So I can kind of wrap that up into one kind of blanket answer. So basically, the main reason we haven't really focused on, or I would say talked about tokenomics as much, is because we kind of view that as the final step in the evolution of a decentralized protocol. It's very easy at the very end once the product is complete and once it's feature complete to really turn on the tokenomics and adjust them and decentralize the product through the LRC token. So that's definitely the end goal. That's what we're working towards, is a fully decentralized protocol. And the only way to do that really is through the LRC token model and through a DAO mechanism. But our main focus right now is on the product and the user experience, as kind of Daniel and Steve and Terrence and everybody has talked about. Mass adoption, mass user adoption is our main goal. And I think the only way to get there is through really making the product just amazing, improving the user experience, getting it to a place where it's feature complete and the product is ready for mass adoption. And that's when we can all turn to the tokenomics and really turn it up and sprinkle in the LRC utility and fully decentralize the product through the DAO mechanism and using the LRC token. So hopefully that answers that question. Yeah. If anyone has anything else to add.
Byron.
I want to add one thing.
Yeah, so actually maybe that's a good place. Oh, sorry, did someone have something to add there?
Oh, I just want to mention one thing. Steve and myself have been talking about, setting up a DAO next year, somewhere next year. We feel like it's time. So if the DAO is there, then the community will have a way to make proposals to change the LRC tokenomic design. It remains right now relatively low priority for us, but I think it's on our roadmap right now.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's exciting. That's coming. So maybe Adam, maybe that's a good time to speak. You can speak a little bit to what we kind of have planned for some DAO staking options and that sort of thing.
Yeah, and I think Daniel said that's the long-term vision of this thing. Next year, we really want to open up the DAO and giving our users more, I guess, allowing them to govern this protocol more so than they currently do. In the short term, I know myself, Brecht, and Byron would even like to let users vote on how to use and allocate the DAO fund, whether that be burning some LRC or incentivizing users to onboard our L2, or even subsidizing users from impermanent loss. Brecht is right now, he's working on a way to capture balances on L2 so users could still vote snapshot on layer 1. Brecht, do you want to speak on that a bit, what you're working on?
Oh yeah, it's actually not that much work, but like we could allow voting on Snapshot. I think that's the website, right? Snapshot.
Snapshot, yeah.
So yeah, the normal L1 website that's used for voting, and Snapshot also allows exporting all the data that's used for voting on L1, which we can then import and use our subgraph to also take into account L2 balances on our own rollup. And so that's a very easy way for us to actually allow voting using the standard Snapshot website and still like using our rollup as the main voting weight, like the LRC balances on L2 as the voting weight for the votes. So yeah, that's very easy. It also plugs into our subgraph. So the data that we use for the actual votes will also be able to, you will be able to check it if we done it correctly. And yeah, that's just a simple way to do it.
Very cool.
And it's very cool. And the subgraph is almost complete. So that will be rolling out shortly, as well as our Loopring Block Explorer. We're very excited to release this. Finally, users will be able to search through transactions, Loopring blocks, and I know it's been a heavily requested feature to be able to download a CSV with users related AMM transactions, deposits, withdrawals, transfers, you name it. We will have it all on a very simple UI, very similar to Etherscan. I think it's a good time now to speak about the So over the past couple of months, we have distributed around 650,000 LRC from this protocol fee. 80% has gone to LPs, another 10% to the DAO, and the remaining 10% to the insurance fund for future stakers. And this doesn't include the month of August, which we'll be distributing in the next couple of days. But yeah, we're just very excited for the DAO to get up and running and users be able to vote and govern, to start with the DAO funds, and then later, as Daniel mentioned, tokenomic models and proposals from there.
Cool. So that's basically all of the questions from Discord. If there are any other questions that are non-NFT related, like anything about Ethport or anything else that we didn't discuss already, feel free to throw it into the chat on the side. If not, then we'll probably wrap this up here.
There's a lot of them. I can't really
a lot of NFT related questions, but yeah, if anyone has anything else, you can also find us in the Discord. Adam and I and Brecht and well, everybody really is semi-active. Adam and myself a little bit more in the Discord every day. So if you have any questions, feel free to hop into there. you can ask your questions and we can get back to you at any time as well. So yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. Thank you again for coming to watch our community call. We'll try to host a few of these more often. This format seems to work pretty well. So yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you guys again. And thank you to the team for joining. And yeah, we'll talk to everybody soon.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.